Yo, what up everyone? Today I got another video for my How to Play Like series. This time we're gonna take a look at Hornet, aka the boogeyman of the bayou. I don't think there's a scarier opponent to fight than Hornet himself. I'm watching Hornet's gameplay and will tell you all the tricks and strategies Hornet uses to win games and dominate his opponents. I picked Hornet's signature weapon, the Officer Carbine. A lot of people say Hornet is just raw aim, but while his aim is one of the best, I played against him a lot and he is quite the strategist. And this video will teach you a lot. You might not have Hornet's aim, but you can definitely copy his strategies into your own gameplay and get better that way. Also, I'm doing another giveaway in the comment section. I'm giving away a copy for the Ghost of Blanchett Graves DLC. All you have to do is leave a comment under the video and I will draw a random comment via a random generator, which will then win the DLC and will be contacted by me personally. The last video's winner was Niels Zimmermann. Congrats! But enough of the talking, enjoy the video, I hope you do learn something and I'll talk to you guys next time. Yeah, here we go. That's like Hornet's gameplay. I obviously picked Officer Carbine, an Officer Carbine video, because it's like his signature rifle. I think that's like the gun that Hornet is known for. I mean, Hornet is overall an amazing player, amazing aim. Like, definitely one of the best players in Hunt Showdown. But a lot of people always say, like, Hornet is known for his aim. Like, people always say, like, oh, you can't play like Hornet. Same for the last video when people were saying, like, you can't play like Rakta because their aim is so good. But actually, I have to hard disagree. Like, yes, Hornet has probably one of the best aim skills in the entire game, at least when it comes to the content creator space. He's up there. The creme de la creme. But Hornet is actually a very disciplined player with a lot of strategy to his gameplay. Like, I'll be honest, when I run into other solos, I rather fight Rakta than fight Hornet. Fighting Hornet is so tough. It's so tough. He's like a predator sitting in a corner waiting for you to do a mistake and then punish you for it. You will see that in the video, but fighting Hornet is tough. Like, Rakta will like charge at you and try something, but fighting Hornet is tough. You will see. You will see. It's like, you know, it's Officer Carbine. Signature weapon. He's pulling up to the compound. Sad we don't see how he approaches, but, you know, you can definitely keep in mind here, like the way he approaches here. He has a carbine. He knows people are in the building. He takes cover by the tower. In classic Hornet fashion, opens the fight with a headshot. But something you guys can, like, keep in mind here, how he approaches the fight. Solo and team play equal. Or equally. He pulls up, takes cover near hard cover, and plays into his loadout strengths here. He knows he has an Officer Carbine, he has high velocity bullets, and he is basically waiting for the bounty team to maybe peek him and hit a headshot. He did hit the headshot, you know, which again is like aim skill, but the principle of that is exactly what you should be doing. Always playing your loadout strengths. Like I said here, Hornet has an Officer Carbine with high velocity, aka he's very dangerous at medium to long range. So he's gonna start the fight from a medium to long range and see what happens. Very important. Very, very important. You know, play on your strengths. Now he got the kill. Reloaded. Now he picks up the aggression. Starts rotating to the compound. It seems like there's a team behind him. You know, we didn't know the... Yep, there's a team behind him. That's a tricky situation to be in. Let's see how Hornet solves that. Pushes into the compound. Team in the bot lair. Team outside pulling in from world border. And he does a perfect move here. He does like the perfect move here because he doesn't want to be... I mean, he's currently pinched in a sandwich. One team putting up for more battery, world border side. And there's still the boss lair team. So the only possibility he has here is find a spot from where he can kinda defend himself. He cannot run towards world border because he doesn't really know where everybody is. And he cannot run on the opposite of the layer because that's where the boss team is and they're probably gonna kill him. So he goes into the only option that he has. He's gonna go into that little side building here. and try to fight from there. It's like the best situation you can do. Like, when you ever get into a sandwich position against multiple teams in a fight, you want to try to, like, put yourself in a position from where you can play. Obviously, hits like an amazing headshot, but the positioning here is what you should take away. He puts himself right here in a position where, like, he can kind of fight one team at a time. He has, like, a position from where he can isolate 1v1s, or at the very least can choose the engagements. Like, he's inside the building. Yes, it has holes, it has some windows, but he can basically control from the inside when he fights the enemy. Which, when he was on the outside, he doesn't really have the same amount of strategies available to him. Because suddenly everybody sees him and he can get shot from multiple angles. But like going inside the building here, he instantly isolates himself, can pick the 1v1 here, obviously in classic Hornet fashion, hits a headshot. But he enabled himself to do that by going inside the building and forcing this Devil's Advocate here to get into a 1v1 with him. Here comes the nade. It doesn't panic. It doesn't give his enemy information by walking. You know, the nade was not really dangerous to him, so no need to panic. And now something that is like really important. He is by a wall to the back. He has like a wall on the back. And he doesn't know the enemy's loadout. He earlier heard an uppercut. At least that's, you know, what would be going on in my head. He got from the shot by the World Border team with an uppercut. That means, why would he use an uppercut? Why would that guy shoot at him from 60 meters with a pistol? Probably something close range. So Hornet stays in the building, but stays as far away from the window and the door as he can to make it the least likely to get one-tapped by a potential shotgun. No, obviously, you know, plays the angles here really well. Also, I think this is like from the Shredder event, because he has like, what's the trade called? Like, this is much tighter than it should be. This is Crack Shot. I think that's Crack Shot. I think it's like an event video. Oh, gets shot in the back. That's so unfortunate. That's unlucky, but, you know, comes back. Something really important here after he got killed. You know, obviously got shot. Unlucky. Was unaware of the angle behind him. Probably exposed his head a little bit to the back because there is a door behind him. But you guys don't see it here. But there's a lot happening in the cut here. He dies now. Obviously he cuts it because he's amazing. And doesn't want you guys to look at him laying on the floor for a little bit. But what happens here? He dies now. He's solo. For all the solo players. This team out here probably is going to go for the revive. So instantly when Hornet comes back, he's like, okay, I have to like try to read on, otherwise I'm screwed. Because those guys heard him die. Gets the read on. But, you know, he's basically reading his opponent. Takes the high ground, abuses like map knowledge. Very well done. The crack shot, headshot. Once again, also like something Hornet does again. He doesn't overcommit here. Like he knows he killed the guy out here. He killed the guy to the right window. But he knows there's a team in the back in the boss layer that is like making the move. He hears the footsteps. And there's a guy out here holding the angle. So he knows, even though he has an advantage against that person out here, he's not gonna leave his power position. He's like, I'm gonna stay in here. That's something like a lot of you guys can learn from as well. When you guys are in a dominant position, you guys are in the advantageous position. Can be the high ground, can be inside the building, can be any kind of position. Don't give up on your advantage in a fight unless you really have to. Especially when the fight is not over yet. If this was a 1v1, Hornet would probably push. But since he knows there's a team in the back, he doesn't want to give away his advantage here. Because this guy can't revive either. Like, he hears if he revives and can punish him for it. And, boom, another team showed up. Maybe it was the bounty team. But now, that guy basically got what Hornet was basically avoiding here. That guy was focused on Hornet inside the building and got shot in the back of his head. By either another team or the bounty team. Probably another team, judging by the angle. But that's basically what Hornet was trying to avoid the entire time. Making use of perfect crack peeks here. But that's what I mean why it's so hard to fight against Hornet. Like, Hornet is very disciplined. Like, the entire time, he's like having this building on lockdown. Like, he doesn't make mistakes. He's like, I have a good position here, I'm not going anywhere. While, for example, in comparison to Rakta would probably have pushed the building already 2 times. Or climbed on the roof, for example. Oh, they have a shredder. That's gonna be interesting. We just heard that. A little bit different, but you know, it's a shredder. Hits a nice headshot, but doesn't overcommit. Because he knows he's down a necromancer, he can't afford to die here. So he has to take everything a little bit slower, a little bit more safe. Oh, high velo moment. That's so unfortunate. Also something that you guys should pay attention to. It's like a little bit over glazing, but that is a good habit. You guys see me do that a lot. You see Hornet do that here, obviously. But you see how he slowly walks and crouches? He doesn't sprint. Why doesn't he do that? He doesn't do that because footsteps when you walk and crouch are much, much quieter. That means that whoever he's peeking here has a harder time to track where he's going. They know that he's in the building, but it's much, much harder for them to hear where he's going. And at the very last moment, he does like a little fast peek. But not he doesn't sprint to the corner and then peek. He slow walks to the corner and then aggressively swings it to like try to catch the guy off guard. And also like spams crouch when he peeks to like avoid a potential headshot. That's mechanically like very high cinema here. Very high cinema, like actual cinema. You know, peeks the corner, crouches while doing so to avoid being held at an head angle to not instantly get downed. And then hopefully aim punch and down the enemy. Didn't work out here. Got screwed over by high velocity a little bit. But mechanically, that is like peak gameplay. Gets it down.
I'm a bit surprised and curious to them.
Cut it here. Probably nothing was happening. But then again, this is like actually like contributing to my argument. He cut it here. I'm assuming that was like another 2-3 minutes. That's why he cut it. Of like the outside team not doing anything, but the inside team not doing either. And Hornet knows he has the best position staying inside that building. He doesn't want to overcommit. He right now doesn't want to push up to the boss layer and basically be robbed, because if he pushes a layer now, the outside team is going to take the building here, and suddenly Hornet doesn't have an area to play from anymore. Suddenly that outside team, because they don't really know what's going on the outside team, they don't know how many people are here, but if he leaves his building here, it's very likely that the other team is going to push up and try to go on the metal roof or do whatever. So he's currently holding the angle, and judging that he cuts that here means that he was very much set on staying here. That's what I mean why it's so hard to find Hornet. He has a plan, he executes a strategy, and he's very disciplined and sticking to the original plan. Unlike Rakta, for example.
Shit. That's gonna be bad now for me.
That's tough. Luckily it was a no. Oh no. Oh, it's tough. Doesn't panic though. Has bloodless. Keeps on healing. Here's the door open. Holy. Oh my god. Can't believe he survived that. But then again, he like right here. Obviously, you know the hip fights with Crackshot are amazing. But right here decides, okay, I'm screwed. They have the shredder with explosive ammo. But he's like, okay, if I go out of the building, I'm probably screwed because I'm gonna be bleeding. So I'm just gonna be right now, I'm gonna hold this angle and try to survive. He knows those Shredder ammo types don't do a lot of damage. They don't really know where he is. They're just spamming the building. He is bloodless and he has medkits. So he's gonna be like, I'm gonna stick to my original plan. I'm gonna play for my power position here. And actually, am okay with taking damage and gonna take my odds here. He could have gone down here, but he was like, if I wanna win this, I have to stay inside here. I have to like fight my way back into the match from inside this building here, because if I leave my cover, I'm gonna get shot from so many different angles, like boss lane team is still there, this team is there, that suddenly it's gonna be incredibly hard to maintain control over the fight. That's one of the things Hornet is amazing at. He's always in control over the fight. Like, he always has a plan. He always, like, follows the plan. He never, like, or rarely ever, full-on panics. Because I guarantee you, a lot of you guys would have, like, right now, like, yeeted it out of the back of the building. Then again, obviously, just completely destroys them. But the strategy part is actually something you guys can stick with, you know? And he's like, you know, also probably amazed that it worked out. And now he knows he fights only one team. Gets a 2-tap. Heals up. And now that he's in a 1v1, you guys see that? Right now he knows it's only one team. He hears both of them on this side of the building. And now he knows he can leave his cover. Right now he knows I took the guy out that is flanking. Now I have the freedom to do something. He knows exactly where his enemies are. He doesn't have to worry about the back right, the back left, behind him, you know, above him, whatever. But he doesn't have to worry about random angles anymore. Now he can leave cover and actually make plays. Like, now he has, again, control over the fights. Amazing headshots. But the principles applied. Oh, one more guy. Instantly goes back in cover. Back into his power position from where he can play. To reload. But you see that how, like, Hornet, like, kinda built his domain here? He's like, I'm gonna play for my, like, domain expansion. You know? Like in Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like, domain expansion wooden shack. I'm gonna play from here. He's also low on ammo. So he's probably gonna, yeah, get the Mosin. Gets information. Stays in the corner, heals up. Takes an off angle. Also, like, something like movement-wise. You guys see how he's, like, constantly, like, jumping and shooting? He's basically not going for a precise shot here. He's just making sure, because he's low on heals, to try to land a tag on him while making himself as hard to hit as possible. You guys already saw that in Rakta's video. But he's in a 1v1 now. And right now, it's more important to survive than to hit the precise shot. Right now, an arm shot, a leg shot, a pinky toe shot is all Hornet needs to win the fight. He doesn't need a headshot. He just needs to survive. He needs to make sure that he doesn't get hit. Closes the door to eliminate some angles. Very smart. Also, this is like such a nasty angle. Here's him walking up. And then, of course, hits the headshot. But, like, you know, you guys might not have the same aim as Hornet does. But strategically, you guys can keep in mind that sticking with a plan, not giving up on your advantage in a fight, is very important. You know, not a lot of us would have been able to, like, probably, yeah, like, don't have the aim as Hornet. You know, who am I kidding here? But the logic behind it, you guys saw that he was always falling back into his, like, wooden shack to play from that position. He was never panicking. He was always like, I'm gonna play from here until I know I'm in a position from where I can make plays. Until the last team was the last team remaining, like until like the very last boss team, the boss layer team pushed out and he knew no other team should theoretically be around. He was playing from a position from where he can like control who can shoot at him. I mean, there is a difference between playing smart and playing passive. Like Hornet was playing aggressively in a passive way. You know, like, obviously, if those guys wouldn't have done anything, I guarantee you Hornet would have tried something. But there also would have been a lot of players in that position where Hornet was, who would have felt the need to leave the building and would have tried to, like, try something silly and then probably would have been in the position where the other teams were and suddenly get shot in the back. Alright. New fight. That looks like a bounty clash. Hits a nice headshot. Looks for enemies. Instantly keeps moving. He's like, I got a kill here. It's bounty clash, obviously, but something very important here. I go back. Obviously, it's bounty clash. It's not a very realistic bounty hunt scenario, but it's like a very important habit. Right now, Hornet hits somebody to the left. Hits an amazing headshot. Right now, he's like, okay, where's teammates? I don't see teammates. I'm in a bad spot. I'm moving on. Like, if there was another one, he would have taken the fight to catch them off guard. Because they didn't know he was there. But right now, he's like, I got a kill. Nobody else in sight. Checked for like a second. And instantly moves on. Because he's like in a bad spot. And again, insists on, you know, being in a good position. It's like something you will see in Hornet's gameplay overall. He always tries to get into a better position. Right now, he's a little bit of a pinch. No kill. Instantly pushes here, though. That's a very good comp, because that guy has to heal. That guy is like 20 HP, maybe 30 HP right now. Now slow walking again to hide footsteps. That guy didn't hear anything. Probably his teammate calling out he's getting pushed. And hits some clean headshots. But, yeah. Then he hits like the double tap here. Right now he pushes up, reloads. He hears somebody. You see how he slows it down? He slow walks. Because he knows he has cover. And by slow walking in the last few seconds of the push, again, he's hiding his footsteps. It's like a very good strategy. It's like something you guys have to learn, trial and error, and get a feeling for when it's the right time. But it's something you guys should probably write into your playbook. That sometimes, while doing an aggressive play, you don't always have to full sprint at the enemy. Sometimes slowing your footsteps down while pushing can give you the jump on somebody like on the Miko. I don't know why she didn't know he was there. Probably their teammate screaming, but yeah. Heat, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. And hits an amazing headshot. Doesn't overcommit here though. He knows there could be another teammate, but it's instantly like going back. Instantly falls back. Shot at this guy, they don't react. Holds the corner because he hears more people. Then again, like, this is actually not a bad play. You can ask yourself why they're not looking. But none of them are looking at him, so Hornet is like... We saw it in the Rugter video, towards the end of the Rugter video. You guys should watch that as well, by the way. But right here. Like, right here. First guy goes by, doesn't come back. And now he's holding the angle. He hears this explosion, there's multiple, but they're not looking at him. You see, like, those guys are not looking at him. So Hornet right now is like, I can just hold the angle. Nobody is really fighting me. They are busy with whatever is going on here. He hit in the explosion. There's like two players that took damage. He hears there's something going on. Those guys are busy. They're not even looking at him. So Hornet is like, I'm just going to stay here. Oh, that guy is not looking either. I'm just going to keep shooting until you guys, you know, look at me and fight back. Sees that guy. Oh, above him. Hits him with the penny Derringer. Classic. Cuts it together. And again, now he knows that people are aware of him. People are actively fighting him. Now Hornet is like, I have to reposition here. Now, you know, my quote-unquote cover has been blown, or, you know, my attention level is like through the roof. People are like aware of my position. People know that I'm back. People are probably gonna try to re-down me. So I have to relocate here. Instantly goes over to the long L-shaped building. Rotate on the other side of the compound. Very smart, by the way. A lot is happening here in the little cut. Again, lots that Hornet does those cuts for like the viewer experience, like, you know, W Hornet moment. But basically, what is happening here to like break it down a little bit? We have a team inside the layer, or at least the Romero players inside the layer. Probably a team inside the layer. And we have a team around this like building here. The little like staircase to the roof. So Hornet was like, I am kinda in between two teams now, and they're all angry at me because I shot somebody on each team. So they probably will try to keep me down. So Hornet wraps around, goes to the L-shaped building. This way, the boss layer team is in the boss layer. Here's the staircase team, so everybody is lined up in front of him. Nobody is on a flank on him, or if somebody is flanking, he will know about it before it happens. So he puts himself again in like a power position by rotating and putting the entire enemy team in front of him. Both enemy teams. Obviously gets a jump on him. But the logic you guys should remember here is that Hornet makes sure that there's nobody on his sides. Nobody behind him that can shoot him. Nobody to his left, nobody to his right by repositioning. So he only has to worry about the players in front of him.
What if I pick the Romero head on, man? Huh?
What?
What can happen? What's the worst that can happen?
Oh.
Oh. That's bad, I guess. That's bad.
Try to go for an aggressive play, but doesn't overcommit here. Like, he goes in here, knows it's an aggressive play, knows it's a risky play. Tries to kill the Romero player inside, the Romero team. Misses his opportunity. Also, he pushes, like, you know, when the banishment is near, they didn't really hear him that much. And then instantly gives up on it again. It's a nice double tap. It's actually pretty smart. You can't always do that. That's a pretty smart play. You guys can't always do that.
Oh, that's bad, I guess.
Like, there's through like choke bombs here.
That's bad.
But Hornet, in the heat of the moment, realized... See, like, the choke bomb goes until here. Like, until this corner. The enemy team probably thinks this entire corner is choke bombed. But Hornet realized, I can go here behind the ladder and slowly walk up. Because this guy in here, like you guys saw, probably believes if anybody is in this proximity, they're gonna start cuffing because they're gonna touch the choke bomb. So Hornet is like, let's give it a try. Because I'm gonna catch somebody off guard here. They're not gonna expect me from this side angle because they believe that is within the choke bomb. It's like a very situational play. But like you guys see here, that guy was looking at the door across. That guy was not ready for somebody to be where Hornet is. It's kind of like in Counter-Strike when you like see somebody through a bad smoke bomb. And you just make a play of it. Very situational, but definitely worth remembering. This is really important, by the way. Again, he's solo here, but in general, especially as a solo player. A lot of people won't pay attention to that, but the bounty has been picked up. Banishment is close. What does that mean? The inside team can now see Hornet is all by himself. It's just him, nobody else. So he has to make sure that he has enough distance between him and the bounty team that if he gets tagged, the bounty team can't rush him. He kind of creates a safety buffer zone. He didn't need to do that before because the bounty team didn't really know what was going on. It's a clash fight. It's very chaotic. But now that the bounty team can actually scan and see he's all by himself, it's very likely that the bounty team is going to make an aggressive play on him because he's the isolated player. I think he's even the last player alive. Maybe, not sure. But potentially. And he is, before the banish is fully finished, before they pick up the bounty, making sure he is backing off a little bit so he can't get pinched again. So again, you guys saw it in a coaching video before, he's making sure that all the enemies are lined up in front of him and he can't get shot from either side. He doesn't get flanked. Because right now the enemy team got like 5 seconds of wall hack and you gotta adjust accordingly. Right now takes like a nice angle near hard cover and waits for the enemy team to do something. Because they will do something most likely. Oh, there's somebody on top. Hits an lantern.
Oh,
Takes his time. Sounds so unfair. I mean, it is kind of wall-hack, right? It's not really wall-hack, but kinda. But now he got the kill. He hears somebody on the back roof, but wants to make sure that they don't revive. He also like saw her fall down. But now Hornet is claiming the high ground to deny the rest. But also, again, slow walking to not give too much information to the enemy team. You see that a lot with like something Hornet does. Hits the double tap. Instantly falls the mech. Tries to fish for information. Hits the barrel here to like just zone it a little bit in case somebody wants to push through the layer. Also to give himself information. Here's the ladder climb. Oh. More information. Is low on bullets. Stops with the Romero, makes sense. Still 2, okay. Goes to the sure put nade play. Again, right now, he dropped his carbine. Now he like swaps like modes. Now he has a shotgun. So he doesn't really want to have the long range battle. So he's like, I can pull you guys in the building. I'm okay with that. Oh. Wait, he can't pick up the slate? Ah, never mind. He picked up the true shot. Made sure he has ammo now. Oh, it's nasty. It's Shokunu with Explo. Kinda nasty. I'm gonna explain that in a second what Hornet did here. Very important. Insists on having the high ground and like plays the angles correctly. That's something you guys see me a lot do as well. Let me see. Let's go here. Like right now how he pushes it. He jumps. He jumps. One footstep. Jumps down, jumps, boom. Why does he do that? Yes, you do hear the jumping noise. But the guy on the ladder is very confused what is actually going on. Because Hornet basically just jumped 2 times to close the same distance, only makes like noises basically twice, and then kills the guy climbing the ladder. If he would have like done the same thing while sprinting down the roof, he would have made a lot of metal footsteps, and it would have been much, much easier for the enemy to keep track of his accurate position. They kind of know where he is, but you know, like they know like the radius where he's kind of pushing from, but they don't have a pinpoint location where he is on the roof by jumping in between. That works really well when you push down staircases, you push down a roof, you push down a hilltop, like anywhere where you can like kind of like close a lot of distance by jumping, especially when making an aggressive push. I would highly recommend doing like a jump like Hornet did here, because it, you know, like that guy there on the ladder, that guy was definitely caught off guard and did not think Hornet was as close as he actually was, because the only sound indicators were like jumping noise, metal noise, jumping noise, and then he got Romero'd instead of like clink, 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 because if Hornet would have sprinted down the roof, that guy probably would have dropped off the ladder. And then, of course, against the Shokunu, keeps the high ground. Down to recover more ground jumping as well. And then, you know, keeps the high ground against the explodes. But yeah, that's like definitely a good strategy to add to your playbook as well. Again, it's not about the aim, it's about adding like those little strategies to your own gameplay. Because aim will get better over time, but those little strategies you just saw there, like how Hornet repositioned, how he backed off when the bounty picked up, how he jumped down the metal roof to hide his footsteps, how he slow walks, you saw that in both fights now, how he occasionally slow walks in the middle of a fight, to kind of like reduce volume of him moving around while not being contested. to like catch his enemies a little bit off guard. Not fully off guard, but you know, just throw their timings off a little bit by like slow walking and make it harder for the enemy team to track the location of him. It's an analysis, Flash Delirium. It's a Hornet analysis. Another bounty clash. Classic Hornet fashion, gets a headshot. Applies the insta-burn here. That is something you guys should do very often. I know some people say insta-burning is toxic, but I guarantee you that is like the perfect strategy here. Because there's no way that guy is gonna fully burn out if he has teammates. But what does it do? It forces the enemy team to do something. It forces the enemy team to make a move. And those movements, those reactions to him burning the teammate, or to Hornet burning the teammate, is what Hornet then can punish. Suddenly, he can maybe shoot somebody who's in the middle of throwing a choke bomb. Suddenly, somebody is gonna try to save their teammate and play much more aggressive, because they know they're on a timer until their teammate is fully eliminated out of the match. Insta-burning is actually such a strategical good choice. Also, this way in Clash you can make sure that somebody... Probably because of the 1 damage of the choke bomb, right? Oh, gets shot by a silencer. Instantly spots him. Okay. Hits that nice headshot. Destroys the red barrel so he can't get tagged by it. Now he knows there's a team in the layer. The guy that he killed outside is their teammate. And he knows he killed somebody up in the rooftop. They did banish inside. Yeah, and Hornet makes like the perfect call here, obviously. He makes a perfect call here. Right now he's like, I can't really siege the boss layer yet. Why? Because there's like a sniper / rifle team somewhere in the top of the mountain. I have to at least take care of those guys before I can quote unquote unlock the fight. Like, right now, Hornet has very limited chances of actually fighting the boss layer team. He can peek that window, but they probably have shotguns in there because they're rushing the banishment in Clash. So he would much rather play the roof, but he can't play the roof because there's a sniper team outside. So Hornet is like, okay, I killed one guy off that sniper team. I'm gonna go outside and try to deal with those guys so I can then actually fight the boss team. Spotted one. I was also like, for anyone wondering, on this patch, since this is like the post-Monon event, that was still when we had 100% jumping accuracy. So that's why you will very often see Hornet go for jump shots. That doesn't work anymore. But in this patch, we still had like accuracy while jumping. Just, you know, as a little side note. You will probably see Hornet go for jump shots very often. Instantly gets the kill here. And then, after he gets the kill, sees if somebody is like not paying attention, and then instantly starts moving, rotating right hand side, like in an angle around his kill, around the body, to first of all cover the rest, stop the rest from happening, but also not being in between the enemy team here and the boss team behind him. So he kind of like tries to put himself out of like a sandwich situation. And, you know, obviously plays hard cover. You know, we always say that, always prioritize hard cover. Redowns him. Instantly swaps his target. Because those guys didn't rest, he killed 3 players. Instantly swaps his target to the boss layer. Here's people dying inside.
She had a shotgun actually, huh?
See? Hornet was like inside the shotguns, right? So he was like, before I can fight the shotguns, I need to take out the rifles outside in the mountain.
Maybe I can borrow.
Oh yeah, the guy in the front here had shotgun, right? He shot with the pistol. True. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't have taken that either. I don't think he's gonna take it, right? No.
It is slugs. Slugs.
Yeah. If anyone wondering, like, Hornet was looking for a shotgun. He remembered that the guy in the corner had a shotgun, or he believed he had a shotgun, checked. It's slugs. He didn't take it because as a solo player especially, or when pushing building, what's the cool part about shotguns? You can one-tap while jumping, you have jumping accuracy, you can one-tap in the legs, in the stomach, as long as you hit them. Slugs do none of that. No jumping accuracy, you have to ADS. Leg hits don't kill, stomach hits don't kill, arm shots don't kill. So Hornet is like, yeah, I don't want slugs here, because the only reason why he would have like picked the shotgun would be if it was buckshot. I'm pretty sure if that was a buckshot terminus, maybe not because it's a terminus, because you need like traits for that. But I feel like if that was buckshot, there was a higher likelihood of picking it up. For anyone wondering why he didn't pick it up. Now he knows there's a team inside. Holds the angle on the staircase. Knows he's in a good spot. Was holding the angle for somebody to push against putting himself in a power position. He was like, nobody knows I'm here yet. Not really. So I'm gonna hold the angle. After he gave away his position, he instantly starts rotating. Right now he knows he spawned to the south side, no, to the north side of the compound. He took down the player base, the players that spawned on the west side of the compound. So right now he knows there's a team inside and probably a team on the opposite side of the building. So he can clearly play the rooftop. I view this the crack peaks. Here's that somebody's healing. That's so clean. Again, that strategy here. It's like the jumping. Like, he drops down. You see that? Jumps down, crouches, jumps, double jump. Like he crouched in, barely any footsteps, jumps twice. They could have heard the landing, but instead of like walking down the stairs and going to that spot, he like hides his footsteps as much as possible to catch somebody off guard. Now he holds the angle, barely moves, doesn't want to give away his position. Hits the amazing headshot, you know. But, you know, you could do that play with a shotgun. You know, obviously not everybody has the aim that Hornet does. Not a lot of people, basically almost nobody has the same aim. But that's a good play. You can do, for example, with the Romero. By like, you do jump, hold the angle with your shotgun. And I feel like that kill, if you had a Romero in your hand, is very doable. Jumps off. That's such a good play. Didn't work out, didn't get the double tap, but that was such a good play. Let me explain real quick what Hornet did here. Hornet holds the angle here. Now he gets the kill. He holds the angle, the guy doesn't push in case that guy pushes. Now, Hornet purposely walks away. You know, like you see that? He like perfectly walks upstairs because he knows the guy around the corner can hear him go up, like go further away. Now he's waiting for the guy down there to do something. He's basically fishing for information. He's kind of baiting his enemy by doing some footsteps, which tells his enemy, hey, that guy is not holding the angle anymore. So he maybe goes for a revive or does something. Hornet is just fishing for information. He hears he doesn't do anything, so he's still in the same spot, jumps out the window, and instantly takes it off angle. He got kind of betrayed here by high velocity. I feel like with normal ammo, he probably would have gotten the double tap. But the play was crazy. Like he, you know, was fishing for information, got the information that the guy didn't move, so he was still in that spot here, and then got creative, jumped out of the window, opened the door, and went for the double tap. Pretty smart. Pretty smart. Very mythological, I think. That's what the word is. Again, throws the sticky bomb as a chaos bomb just to fish information. Try to make him panic. Also buy himself some time to like drop his ammo box. Oh, now he hears shotguns fighting. Tries to use the chaos to maybe make a play, and now he grabs scan. He was like, I don't know what's going on here. I want scan. I want to know what is actually happening. Who's alive, how many are alive, and where are they? Does his 360 scan, sees there's only one guy alive, I think. And it's a different skin than the one that he fought before. Now he's fighting a gator. And he knows that guy has a shotgun. Tries to go for the wallbang. We saw that in the Rugter video. He's basically just like letting that guy know. Maybe he hits a kill there, you know, like he shoots as close to the target as he think the target is. But he basically just lets him know, I know you are out there. And then hopes that guy, you know, gets a little bit nervous. Kinda like, it's like a playing with the enemy's nerves, trying to make them panic, trying to like bait them into making a stupid play. You know, Hornet could have not shot at him, but probably the shotgun player then would have thought, haha, I'm so sneaky, he has no idea, and wouldn't not have done anything by simply shooting at the wall. Maybe he gets a kill, maybe he doesn't. But letting him know that Hornet knows he's out there, the shotgun player is probably going to be like, oh fuck, I should not go for this play. Also very smart what Hornet does here. Yeah. You will see that probably through the entire fight. Hornet is trying to keep as much distance and put like, you know, only show, you see that here his gun is like, you know, the gun is kind of like center point of his character. He's always trying to play some kind of hard cover. He's fighting a shotgun, aka a weapon that has low penetration value, but very high damage. So half of his body is covered by some kind of hard cover, so it's less likely for the shotgun to one-tap, and on top of that, he's trying to keep as much distance to the shotgun as possible, while not backing out of the fight. See, like, right here, he has the maximum distance to this door, which the shotgun is probably gonna peek. Ah, bees. That's annoying. But, we got the flare pistol, easy peasy. If anyone doesn't know that, you can shoot bees with flare pistol and it destroys the bees. Again, you see that how he's like backing off? One sec. This is like textbook gameplay when you play with a rifle against a shotgun. You don't have to run away 100 meters. And when I used to play World of Warcraft, yes, I'm a nerd, blah blah blah, but I also used to play a lot of Arena on a gladiator level. And there was this thing when you fight against the warrior, it's called dead zoning. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with that term, but basically what it means in World of Warcraft, let me think. I think the melee range was like 4 to 5 meters, and a warrior could like do a charge attack, which puts them directly into your face once you are more than 8 meters away. That was like the range limitation. So basically, the strategy against a warrior was stay further away than 5 meters, so he can't hit you with his melee weapon, but stay closer than 8 meters so he can't charge you. Basically what Hornet does here is, he's keeping the furthest amount of distance to the shotgun player that he can very unlikely get one-tapped, but keep control of the fight. You know, don't run away. Keep the fight going. You don't have to be 100 meters away from the shotgun. You just have to be far enough away from the shotgun that it is very unlikely to one-tap you. It's actually very smart. Like, he's kind of like dead zoning the shotgun here.
Yeah,
Playing like out of one-tap range or like at the maximum end of the one-tap range. Also, Hornet doesn't know if he's solo here. You see, like, he thinks he's solo, but he's not 100% sure. So he also doesn't want to like run out of the building because there's a bunch of bodies on the floor. Right now, he wants to keep it in a 1v1. Now he's like, that guy got too close to the building. He's about to kill me with his shotgun. Hornet is just gambling here now that it is a solo. That guy healed. Now he has like the high ground on the shotgun. Tagged him, but again, he doesn't overcommit here. We'll probably see that. He knows the guy has a shotgun, but you see, like, this is like the perfect description of like dead zoning. He knows the shotgun player is around the corner, but he doesn't want to peek that corner. First of all, he wants to stay next to hardcover in case that guy pulls out his pistol. We still don't know what pistol he has, because he only shot his shotgun so far. And he doesn't want to swing it close because he could get one-tapped by the shotgun. So Hornet is like, you know, actually very disciplined here. And be like, I'm not gonna overcommit here. I have control over this fight. I'm not gonna swing him close, but I'm also not gonna wide swing. Again. See how he's like scanning for information, see how far away the shotgun is, and actually calculating, like making very precise movements to not be in one-tap range while constantly putting pressure on the enemy. Again, takes like the furthest distance to the shotgun here. Goes to the back of the building. Actually so smart. This is how you play rifle against the shotgun. This is like textbook. You know, take notes, guys. This is like textbook gameplay, how you play against the shotgun. Never let the shotgun come close enough that it can one-tap you. And then it's a clean headshot.
Patience, man. That's it.
Yeah, patience.
That's it.
They're gonna do a mistake eventually because they want to push you. You know, I mean, Hornet knows that obviously, but for you guys, by actually not moving here, like the classic not moving, or barely moving, he just waited until the shotgun eventually does a mistake. Yeah, we're watching Hornet. We're watching Hornet. Next fight. But that was like textbook gameplay, how you dead zone. You know, let's just make it a thing. How you dead zone a shotgun. He basically never gave that shotgun player throughout the entire fight while being in a building the chance to one-tap him. Every time the shotgun got too close for comfort, Hornet backed off. Hornet was like, no, I want to be at least 10 meters away to the shotgun, so I don't get one-tapped. And always put like... Oh. Classic. Love that. Oh. Moves after every shot here. Very important. Gets a reload in, but that sucks. That sucks in Bounty Clash. Instantly losing your necro. Kinda weird that they let go of Hornet here. But again, we saw that in the Ragnar video. I'm gonna show that real quick. Now he dies. But the behavior is very different. He is getting shot. You see, like, after every shot, movement, shoots, moves, peeks, shoots again. Now they're not looking. You know, you see that now? Oh, wait. Now he sees, oh, that guy not looking at me. There's nobody peeking at me. At least nobody that he can see. I can take my time with the shot. Doesn't hit it, but instantly the change in, like, behavior. Oh, this guy is right now not looking, not fighting me. I have my time to take a shot here. You know, now sees him peek, takes cover, reloads. But that's like a very good behavior to write down. You saw Hornet do it, you saw Ragnar do it in the last video, and you will see me do it. You will see all good players do that. You have to look what your enemy is doing. If your enemy is looking at you, aiming at you, like this, you should be making sure that you do not get hit. But if your enemy is not looking at you sideways, trying to, like, you know, have their back turns towards you, maybe are healing, then you do have the extra time that the enemy gives you to land an accurate shot. And you should make use of that. Now Hornet hears that they're fighting somebody else. Again, you see that? That guy has his back turned towards him because they're fighting some other team in Clash. But Hornet's like, I don't care, you're not looking at me. Not looking at me. I'm just gonna sit here until you acknowledge my existence. And just gonna keep on shooting. Didn't land a headshot, but the principle is very important. You know, use the information that your enemy is giving you. Like always, you know, your enemy looks at you sideways or has their back towards you. That means you can... Oh, ego peek. Takes a challenge here, got caught off guard. But didn't get hit for too much.
Hello.
Nobody banished yet. Just taking the banish away from everybody. Instantly goes like out of the bottom area of the layer though. Takes dark side boost, very interesting.
This game is still trash.
Yes, 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 Hornet, yes. I mean, you know, not too much trust, but it's a good behavior, Dominic, definitely. I know, like, sometimes it's high ping, things get thrown off, but now what Hornet does here is, like, he instantly goes upstairs, has Magpie, gets 2 seconds of Dark Side out of the Dark Side boost, and can get information. So get, like, an idea where everybody is located. You know, instantly, like, it's very important. You know, like, again, 360 scan. Knows where everybody is, sees nobody is close. Sees that those guys are still fighting up there, peeks, takes a chance, catches somebody off guard, reviving. Good timing, clean headshot. But with one scan, he just knew where the entire server is. A lot of people don't do that. Like, I saw it in my comment section for the Rugday video. But actually, people so many times do not do the full 360 scan to get as much information as possible. There are like situations where you should just scan to get fast information, but especially when you're not contested, you should probably do the 360 scan. Just so you get as much information out of the scan as physically possible. It's like that's something easy to do, everybody can do, and it makes you a better player instantly. Just do 360 scans when you can.
Gentlemen.
Oh, it's Nick. Let's go. 18 months Nick sub. W.
Hello.
Oh, thank you for the 18 months. Pretty much nice.
Holds the revives there. He knows there's 2 guys down, so he just wants to stop the revives. Hits another clean headshot. Knows that team is wiped now. Now he hears more teams fighting. Gets a 4-shot boon. It's also like, this is like something you guys should pay attention to. You guys will probably think, what is he on about? But this right now, you see like the banishment is at 91%. This is very loud. Whenever there's a banishment at like 90% or more, the banishment is so loud, it will cover your enemy's footsteps. That is when experienced players will make plays on you. That is when like people start cooking grenades. That's when people start pushing the building with a shotgun. That's when people make their moves because they know the banishment is so loud you will not fully hear them, maybe not hear them at all. So Hornet right now it's like, I'm gonna hold that little crouch hole in case somebody is trying to do something. Because he can't hear if somebody crouches up there. Holds the angle the entire time, again 360 scan, sees nobody close. Sees that they are running up from the northeast, southeast side, like east side. Sees somebody and scan across, probably a sniper player. Instantly tries to challenge him. Doesn't get him though, because the other people he has to overcommit to. Now swaps on the other side of the building. Took somebody out who like completely overextended there.
Shit ammo, huh?
Instantly applies the burn. Oh, somebody died too. I don't even know what. But this is like a good habit, by the way. The insta burn. This is so important because it applies pressure on whoever is alive. Doesn't even matter that you know, it's not even the purpose is... Ooh, another high value moment. Doesn't even matter that if Fellis burns out or not, but it just applies pressure. Keeps your momentum going.
She survives double down.
These 3 players now. See, there's a choke bomb. Didn't hit the headshot, but you see, like, he almost just got a kill there by insta-burning. And overall, they're like, this is like textbook why you should insta-burn. People will not like me saying that. But they are right now doing very risky plays to save their teammate because they don't want their teammate to burn out. The Kane suddenly pushes the roof. He probably would have never done that if the Fellis wasn't burning. Don't know for sure, but like the Fellis burning here applies a lot of pressure on him, and it's like, I want to save my teammate. W for the Kane. Also another high value moment, but you know, high value is being played for headshots, and that's okay. If you go for like, you know, double taps, you should probably play normal ammo, but it doesn't matter. But just that insta burn applies so much pressure on their teammates that they're going for like bad plays. Clean headshot.
We're gonna peek
Basically, that burn by itself Yeah, true. Because that guy had a sniper. Now he knows he's on a 1v1. Tries walking up, has the information, has a high ground from where he can, like, choose his engagements. Loots probably for more consumables. Or why not? And just fully commits. And wipes the lobby. Super clean. Super clean. But you saw how that, like, one burn on the fellas basically snowballed him into 2 more kills. Because he could have, like, for example, headshotted the melon shirt lady, like the red shirt, green pants lady, when she was throwing a choke bomb. Didn't, but even then, he dauntless the choke bomb to keep the pressure up. Suddenly, the can out of nowhere vaults the roof and tries to, like, push him. Because they want to save the teammate. Suddenly, he basically got out of 1 kill and an insta-burn, 2 more kills for free, more or less. You know, burning is not always about, like, burning somebody out. It's about applying pressure on the enemy team. And then they do mistakes, and then you can punish them. Another clash. Okay. That's clean. No, he just guessed that one. Because, you know, he's in the middle of the B cloud. You guys can do that if you go for it. Usually, if you shoot in the middle of the Bs, you will hit him. Oh, that was such a clean headshot. Holy fuck. You can do that, and that was crazy. He's like bees on him. It's like something you guys can do for. You see, like, there's like the B cloud. Hornet just kind of shoots in the middle of that, like, B bubble. Hits a headshot. It's like crazy. You know, definitely a little bit of luck involved. But you know, you never, you don't miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Hits the wallbang on the revive. Or on the guy trying to revive. He has shotgun, so doesn't commit here. Holy. That's a lot of shotguns in the building. That's scary. Let's see how Hornet handles it. Another shotgun. Another Crowning King. Yeah, like I said earlier, this is like jump shot accuracy on the old patch. But again, he doesn't overcommit here. He hears people dying. Something to take away from, but he's in a very aggressive position. Again, he's like staying in the dead zone, in the shotgun dead zone. Like he's dead zoning the shotguns. I mean, he's, you know, dead zoning the shotguns. He's like, all he hears is like Crowning King, Crowning King, Crowning King. I think it was all Crowning Kings in there. Probably Auto 4s. I think it was the Auto 4 patch, if I remember correctly. So probably all Auto 4s. He's like, I'm not going in there. Like, fuck that. But I'm staying close enough that I can, like, you know, kill people. No, I'm not going, like, all the way back to the metal roof. I'm staying on my little, like, corn hill here and try to pick some kills. Here's a revive. Sadly doesn't get the redown. Now again, same behavior as earlier that you saw in the La Plata fight. Enemy team picks up scan. Now he's going in a safer position from where he has a little bit of a buffer zone between him and the bounty team, so they can't monkey rush him from like different angles. Like something you see Hornet do very often when he plays solo. When the enemy team has scan and there's multiple people alive on the enemy team, Hornet will put himself into a position from where he can line up the enemy team in front of him, so he doesn't have to worry about like nasty side angles and fast flanks. From here he has like more control over the fight and only has to worry about like a 45-degree angle from where enemies can even come from if they want to do anything. Which gives them like much more control over the fight. See, like right now. Sorry for always stopping. Like, you know, again, shoots the bees. Burns them. But right now, like, you know, he peeks it. He sees the guy up here. Sees the guy down there. Doesn't commit because he sees it's getting peeked by 2 angles. Shoots once. But you see how, like, everything the enemy team can do is in his, like, peripheral vision. Like, he can see everything the enemy is doing. He doesn't have to worry about somebody flanking from the right or to the left. Like, he will know about it before it happens, simply because he backed off a tiny bit from where he has a better overlook over the entire fight. Because now the enemy team has scan and the enemy team does know that he's just one guy. He did hear the footsteps to the left, yeah. Picks the fight on the flank. Obviously hits a clean headshot. But right now, oof. And that's just a Hornet moment. But what you can take away from that is that he plays that silo to isolate angles. He isolates 1v1s. He takes like a position from where he sees all the enemies. And at any point in time, obviously he hits the shots. And it's not easy to hit those shots. You need amazing aim. And not everybody has that aim. But the principle is, he's in a 1v3 here. And he doesn't want to fight all his enemies at the same time. He uses this like big pillar here to create 1v1s, because it's much more likely, not a guaranteed, but much more likely to win 3 forced isolated 1v1s back to back than him winning a 1v3 while all 3 players are shooting at him. It's kind of like, you know, it's much more likely that if you throw a coin up 3 times that it lands on heads 3 times in a row, not the most likely, but more likely, than you throwing 3 coins in the air, aka fighting against 3 players, and saying none of them are gonna land on heads. Like, nobody's gonna headshot you. You know, more likely, right? That when you do it 3 times, it doesn't happen. If you throw 3 coins at the same time, very likely that you're gonna lose that. Now the odds are suddenly completely different. Now he has control over the 2 buddies, pushes up, knows he's in a 1v1. Gets the body tap, egos it, because he is fine with trading here. He hits up, but instantly rotates in a way from where he has like control over the fight. Burns here. You know, again. It's a burn to apply pressure. This burn here, Hornet doesn't believe that guy's gonna fully burn out. Nobody believes. This guy doesn't believe it's fully burns out. But due to burning, that guy suddenly feels pressure to do something. He could have like thrown the choke bomb, but a little burn like that applies pressure. Even if you like think of it of like a team play base. Like suddenly this guy is gonna be in Discord calls. Oh, he's burning me. It's like those tiny extra amounts of pressure in those situations that go a long way. This time Hornet is playing the boss layer. Gets 2 seconds of scan. Again, scans the area. Sees where everybody is. Goes for the double tap, but then doesn't overcommit. He gave away his position. He has that 1 angle to peek. Doesn't re-peek. Peeks somebody. Caught somebody off guard. Yeah, I agree. But that's like a good behavior to have. Right here. I know I'm pausing and playing a lot. But he picks up scan. Looks around, sees everybody. He doesn't have to do his 360. He saw 1 team to the left. The other 2 teams are around that building here. He doesn't have to do his 360 here because that's the maximum amount of players he can see. That patch was the patch when we only had 4 teams in Clash. So he saw 1 team to the left, 2 teams over here. 1 team is him. So that's it in player. So he didn't have to do further scan. Otherwise he probably would have done his 360. Now he sees that there's 2 teams here. Sees the player, goes for the double tap. Peeks the 1 angle he can peek. Gives up on it. Here's somebody running up here. Instantly swaps up the angle. He sees that guy is sprinting. And it's like, maybe I can catch somebody off guard. Spotted the enemy, hits a super clean headshot.
Supposed to be a headshot, but whatever.
And basically what you can take away from here, he instantly swapped up the angle. That's not a scan for information. There's something crazy going on. I think that's a shredder. What's a shredder event? Tries to pick somebody because he knows it's kind of hectic over there. Maybe somebody leaves the building, so he just holds the angle for a little bit. Doesn't want to overcommit, so again, here's the boss layer. And doesn't overcommit again. He could have overcommitted there. Tried to like kill that guy by like swinging out here, but he's like, I'm gonna stay inside my building here from where I can control how many people can shoot at me at the same time. Which is a very good behavior, especially as a solo player. Like he's right now, I'm not gonna overcommit. Again, he's like, I know there's a guy, but I'm not gonna wide swing it, because the wider I swing it, the more angles I expose myself to. Now he hears somebody inside. Crouch walking around. Probably assumes that guy has a shotgun. Now Hornet is kind of dancing in between the teams, just seeing if somebody... Basically what Hornet is doing here, he's very quiet, crouching around, crouch opens the door to make the least amount of noise as possible, but still walking around. And he's basically just fishing for somebody not paying attention. It's a very good behavior in like multi-team compound fights. Sometimes when two teams are fighting and you are not involved, it's not the worst idea to just like look around a little bit, see if there's somebody who's not paying attention. Because very often, you know, the fight in itself is so overwhelming that people don't even think about somebody being in the back of, you know, in their back literally, and being able to shoot them. And then you can maybe get a kill or two and then suddenly like steamroll from there. Didn't work out in that case, it seems, but that's a good strategy to write down for yourself. And that's gonna be a long video, but it's okay. I think those videos are important for education purposes. Now he hears somebody's inside. He earlier heard somebody. But guy's playing very slow as well. Again, Hornet sees a lot of action going on. Those two are not fighting each other. Right now Hornet is just like bing, 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 bing. Is anybody there stopping bleed? Not paying attention? Maybe pushing the White House? Somebody I can like pick off here real quick. Nobody's fighting me. Everybody's ignoring me. Maybe I can get a kill here. And enemy spotted. Boom. Easy kill. That right there. That right there. That was... I'm gonna bet money. This kill, simply because Hornet played it smart, stayed quiet, didn't overcommit, never left his power position like in the first clip of the video, got an easy kill. This kill right there was not something that you guys can't do. That was just Hornet playing incredibly smart. Because he knew those guys are busy. Those guys are not looking at him. You know, this kill here. I guarantee you, most people in chat can probably do that. You know, like right there. That guy's slow walking. Hornet takes his sweet time. Guy doesn't look at him. Boom. Headshot. That's one enemy he doesn't have to worry about anymore. Now, somebody pays attention to him. He heard somebody pushing the building in the back. He hears him pushing up. And hits him with a penny derringer. One of the reasons why most people should play penny derringer. Right now, he basically has a pocket shotgun up to like 4 meters. Even if he doesn't want AP, he's gonna like aim punch him. But he knew there was a guy inside the building the entire time. That's why Hornet never went inside. Early when he was down by the door, he heard somebody crouch inside. Now he knows that guy knows where he is. So he's making a play. So Hornet is like, I'm gonna take an off angle here that he doesn't expect. You know, right here. And let him run into me. Hornet hears the guy pushing. He's like, oh, somebody pushing. And now Hornet takes like an off angle. That guy doesn't expect it for somebody to be here. Why would somebody be here, right? He believes Hornet is currently fighting the outside team. He's like, Hornet takes him down. Instantly checks on the other team to make sure that that team doesn't come back in the fight. And even here, he didn't get the kill, but basically what he did here, that's like such an important thing to do, even if you don't get a kill here. Like Hornet already got the kill on that guy. Let me go. Here. Hornet scans, sees that they're fighting, but he definitely does want to make sure here that he keeps the advantage. No, Penny Derringer doesn't deal bleed, it's a blunt damage weapon. But basically he's just contesting here, going for quick shots. Just basically letting them know, hey guys, I'm watching. Making them feel very uncomfortable to go for revives. He wants to make sure that he keeps his numbers not in advantage because he's a solo player, but keeps the numbers the way they are right now. He's like, guys, I'm watching. You guys cannot revive. If you guys go for a revive, I'm gonna take your head off as well. And sometimes it's very important, even like just go for warbangs. Like that's like something you guys can put in your playbook, even if you guys can't see the enemy, but you know where you killed, you know, their teammate. Just shoot at them. Even if you don't hit them, just shoot at them. Just let them know, hey guys, I can see you. I can see you. I know you're there. And if you do something stupid, I'm gonna kill you. That's just that alone, like not even doing anything, even if you didn't hit a singular shot here, those guys out there are not gonna go for a revive now. Maybe they go for a necromancer, but they are 100% not gonna go for a hand revive. And even if they go for necro, that is a necromancer that Hornet has burned away from them that they can't use later in the fight. Just hit P93. Congrats, Coxbox. Congrats. Let's go. Thank you for the gifted sub. So I have like my alerts disabled right now for the video. Now Hornet just gets us as much information as possible. Sees it's two players that kinda separated from each other. Ah, still a 1v1. See, now Hornet is like, okay, I can push this now. Now I'm in a 1v1. We saw Hornet in a similar position in the last video. Rakta. So kinda curious how Hornet plays it. Hornet knows he's behind that. He crouches up again. You guys saw that, I think, almost. I want to say, I'm not sure, but I think you guys almost saw that in every fight. Maybe not in the Deadfall Timber fights. But you see that again. I do that a lot myself as well. It's such a smart play. He's in a 1v1 here. You see, like, right now, he's like, I'm just gonna crouch up. I'm gonna walk and crouch, walk and crouch. I'm very quiet. Kinda giving my enemy, even though he kinda heals me, very, very limited. I think it's still like Lightfoot, I'm not even sure. Might even be Lightfoot because he doesn't make any footstep noises. I think it's like Lightfoot, actually. Yeah, this was probably a Lightfoot play. Doesn't work anymore. But even if he doesn't, like, right now crouching, basically limiting the amount of information he's giving his enemy. So he doesn't fully know where Hornet is at that point in time. And that creates like those little windows of like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 seconds that you have over your enemy. But suddenly you have a little bit of an advantage in a 1v1. Obviously it hits a clean headshot, but that can go a very long way. And that was it for the video. But like you guys saw here, everybody always says like, I can't play like Hornet because I don't have the aim. But I think what you saw throughout the entire video, Hornet has a strategy to his gameplay. Yes, he has insane aim. Like, actually insane, totally cracked, out of his mind aim. But he plays very much with a strategy in mind. And those strategies you can actually implement in your own gameplay. Especially like, you know, when you have an advantageous position. Maintain it. You guys saw in the one Deadfall Timber fight how to perfectly dead zone a shotgun. You know, doesn't mean you guys can do it like Hornet does, but you guys can put that in your playbook and try to put it into your own gameplay. You know, it's not about hitting headshots, it's about, like, learning all the other things. Because Hunt Showdown, even though it's an FPS game, aim is not everything. No, Hornet has amazing game sense, you know? But people often say, like, you know, I can't play like Hornet because of his aim. And that might be true, but you can try to copy everything from good players, except the aim. The aim gets better over time, but all those little tricks and strategies you guys can implement in your own gameplay. But yeah, that was it with YouTube, 1 hour and 18 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And yeah, let's continue playing some solos.